Into the Aurora, we have actually seen Annie do okay, even though Aurora has been picked into it many, many times. The Annie does often win. That's a Syndra, though. And that would be a lot of fun. Azir is a lot of auto-attacking. And that would certainly help them with their just consistent DPS. But instead, it's going to be the Mel. And she will be the decision into this. You can block some spears. Ace in the hole you can never use if the Mel is around. So that's kind of cute. Now I'm going, what are we playing?
And just a lot of follow-up on the setup from Gen G. You kind of just throw everything into the Cataclysm and explode them.
Okay. Morgana, a little bit of the darker variety. And Tahm Kench will be the choice. Of their 6 gamers, and Ruler is also taking a lot of damage. Avoiding that Peacemaker, very, very important, as Duro will make his way over. The Tongue Lash comes in, and I had a question for you, Ox.
Yeah.
What? She could be in some of the other lanes, like the Lux, for example. As Canyon, he wants to hit level 6. He's going to move on over looking for Gideon. Flashes over the wall, though, to get himself out, and Chovy is left to the Wolves. Finds a great snare to keep him alive, but he has to use his flash as well. Incarcerated if you're on parole. You know? I don't think I use the word parole as a synonym for freedom.
It doesn't just
doesn't
roll off the tongue well, you know?
No.
Oh.
Well, there's a public execution as Keen is going to look for casting here. He does find the ultimate. Canyon going to show up and just needs to hit him a couple of times. And there it is. Cataclysm into auto. Down goes the Scion, and there is first blood. As there's a great knock up from Namgung. Does actually get the flash out of Ruler this time.
Yeah, Teddy
Satchel's on cooldown.
The trap there, by the way.
The Croak, which someone in chat mentioned. That one's a good one too. All right, Mega Inferno, I'm going to tidy up the wave, and Ruler is just going to immediately die. There is the Devour on to the Pantheon, and Namgung eats the Grey Health, and he is going to be absolutely fine. And that next 3 minutes time, so trying to work out exactly what the next target is going to be, as Ruler does get some time with this turret finally. Now Canyon rotating over. They do manage to get a great dredge line on to the Caitlyn. Duro, not as good at tanking up the turret, but is able to flash himself out of the way. And Namgung.
But Teddy didn't use barrier, they didn't use heal. They really didn't put those resources into place to try and keep him alive for any longer.
Oh, Roma looking for an angle onto Chovy here, who does throw some abilities back. Flashes out of the way, the Between Worlds. Doesn't want anything to do with that.
Rumba been doing a good job of applying pressure with that ult. Oh, no.
Okay. No rebuttal available, but also not really too much of anything else happening here either, although does get the knock up, and Gideon is able to finish that kill. Keen looking for an angle towards Namgung here, who does use his flash in order to get out of the way.
Is crazy.
Not to mention Ziggs, Mel, Ambessa. That's a lot of damage, as they are aware of it. They want to try and kill said Ziggs. Let's see whether he can get a satchel down in time. Actually gets a lot of AoE as well and uses it aggressively. Never mind. That wasn't the satchel. That was just a minefield. They do get the Nautilus, though, and that's what they were looking for. And the Bros going to take a kill lead in this game.
Yeah, I mean, I was just saying how he doesn't have the Celestial opposition. Makes him a really easy target to go for. And Hanj and Brion focus him down. They know the Ziggs.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of turret shots taken by Keen. And he even tags him with the last portion of the Q. Keen will get the shield back. Let's see whether he can do the Ambessa thing where you just dash a million miles. Takes the damage from the Q.
The minion?
And, not quite able to get there. Wasn't able to roar of the Slayer, that minion, over to kill an Ambessa. Dangerous as Keen comes on over with that shield. And Canyon wants to try and get some sort of a little bit of a gank attempt here, as now Ruler, that satchel value just gigantic. And Duro does manage to land the dredge line. However, Namgung is able to keep his teammates safe, but now doesn't have that Devour. There's a great flag and drag onto Gideon. Another dredge line is going to connect, and Roma so close to dead, but casting is going to show up. It's just Gen G are walking circles around the Bros right now, and Chovy picks up a double, and that gold advantage just ballooned. Someone put it on the prompter before, but I didn't really understand. That's all right. We got teleports coming in from both top laners. The Scion going to join the rest of his teammates as Duro a little bit out of sync as Keen not going to quite find the ulti angle as Roma gets turned on. Depth charge comes down. There's the Devour to make sure that he's going to be okay, but Duro is already dead. Chovy finds them all though with that snare, and there is the overwhelming damage coming out from the ultimate. He'll land another E, and Roma is likely to just die. Casting getting some work done here as Ruler is just a little Ziggs trying to deal with this gigantic zombie man. And I think that he might be all right, tagged by a Q, but is otherwise able to enlist the help of his friends in order to stay alive. And so the first Infernal should go over to Gen G if they would like it.
Tarula was actually the dragon that was hitting him.
Well, Gideon taking a lot of damage here, but Chovy is in melee range with a Pantheon. He seems to not care about it, though, as he will be able to kill him.
By Rocket Belt.
Ruler maybe should have listened. Because then he could have maybe used it to help him get out of the way of that one. That satchel wasn't great. That's 5 stars probably gone.
Yeah, not the best satchel there. And it's a lot of mixed damage, a lot of physical, a lot of magic.
Oh, they're going to throw everything at Ruler. This time the satchel is a little better as Roma goes between the worlds. Duro's going to show up, lands the max range dredge line into the depth charge. And Roma takes a lot of damage from that Mega Inferno Bomb. Keen, that was so close, but the snipe from Ruler will be able to pick up the kill. Still, Canyon's going to go down. Duro wanting a little bit more, but I don't know whether he can really find it as Gideon going a little bit too deep for that one, and Ruler is going to be able to get some revenge as Chovy snares all 3 of them. Oh man, I thought it wasn't going to be a Chovy POM today, but I guess maybe it is. As he manages to get a lot of damage down onto Namgung as well, and another dredge line from Duro. Casting just trying to get out of there as the bouncing bomb also doing a fair bit and catches him out of the air. Never mind, give it to Duro. It's just gone one after the other here as Ruler sidesteps the tongue lash, and the bros, they may have their base broken off the back of that.
But won't be able to find him. Ruler now with the Void Staff has a good amount of damage.
Well, the engage onto Casting actually, as Casting is completely separated from his team, put into the Cataclysm, and he's just dead. No frontlining for the Scion, because he was beyond the front line. Yeah.
It's pretty major, pretty large. And we're going to see the individual gold advantages as if to just point out how everyone is ahead.
You know what's fantastic? It said Chemtech Drake when the Infernal was taken. Just to give you a little bit of familiarity there, Orcs. There's the knock-up onto Gideon. Roma is just going to explode. Chovy makes sure that he dies. Dash Cannon's out of the way to make sure that he gets a double kill. As a result, Gideon is going to fall as well. That is the jungler being dead, and their teammate that does the most damage also on the floor. So the Gen G will take a free Baron off the back of that.
Not much you can do to contest this one. He ain't even going to block them from pushing up to this mid tower, or at least try to.
Well,
Teddy, that is a very
strong. He will definitely do that. The public execution does miss, but Duro's making his way over. Keen just dashes over everything ever, and Teddy flashes, but he is still going to need to be devoured by the Tahm Kench, and I don't even know whether that is going to be enough. I mean, there's a Serpent's Fang, and now there's Ruler coming on over with about 200 health and a Dream, and the ability to pick up a triple kill here. That is not going to happen because Keen will pick up the ace for Gen G.
16 now, I heal a ton for some reason.
Oh, there's the ace in the whole value. Oh, baby. Teddy makes sure that Gideon takes it, who is just sitting in the fountain. He is going to press his R button. They're looking to get on top of Chovy, who flashes to get out of the way. Dash cannons to avoid the rest of the damage. And they threw their Hail Mary, and Chovy said no. He just held up his hand, and then Morpheus said, I think he's the one. Or he's beginning to believe, or something like that, as the bros are licking their wounds. But Teddy, the last one able to do damage, and he just gets cataclysmed on by Canyon. My God, that was one heck of an alley-oop, as it's Chovy that locks down the ace in the end. Sub 30 minutes, and Gen G will complete the 2-0 over the bros and keep their second place dreams alive.